Hi, so just wanted to talk about something very candidly. So this just came up to me, this thing that, can we really ask for love? Because, this is something that ends up happening to most of us, especially when we end up, you know, as an adult who shares an unhealthy relationship with themselves. Okay, so we are basically talking about the case where as an adult, whether we are aware of it or not, we have an unhealthy relationship with ourselves. Matlab, we are at a point where we don't really believe that I'm worthy of love, that I deserve love just for who I am. So when we are this person, what ends up happening is that somewhere we are seeking love from this one person. There is this one person in our life जहाँ पर we feel that we're seeking love, that we just desperately want this person to love us, because somewhere my entire worth is dependent on this person, how this person treats me, how much they make me feel loved. So somewhere, it's almost like a child. I need their love almost like a child, not like an adult. And that is why here it's very appropriate to say that we share an unhealthy relationship with ourselves. Because if I say that an individual, an adult, shares a healthy relationship with themselves, they would not be depending so much upon any other fellow individual to feel loved or to feel accepted, or to feel validated. But when we are talking of this case, this thing happens because somewhere my cup is not filled again. I do not feel that love for myself within myself. Somewhere I lack that acceptance, that validation, that feeling of that okay, I am worthy of love in my own self. That is why I depend on this one person to seek that love. And what ends up happening is that a lot of times in reality it is actually just this one person who we truly need this love from. Although as a grown up, because we are still stuck in that thing, or that is still playing out in our life, that I somewhere still lack that love in myself, because again there's this one person who I needed it from, and it never came. So somewhere I'm still seeking, a part of me is still seeking, looking for that love outside, because that is there. Maybe as an adult I will end up manifesting it in my other relationship also. But at the depth, at the core, it has to be that just one person where I actually expected love, where I truly wanted love. I want this person to love me. But the problem that ends up happening is that even as a grown up, even after I have become an adult, I'm still craving that love from outside. I'm still looking for that. I'm still seeking that validation or love from outside. But then the question comes to, can we really ask for love? Because here, when we are in this position, when we are seeking that love, validation and acceptance from outside, or from that one specific person, and when I say a specific person, in most of the cases it can go back to again a child and a parent relationship, because that is the moment, or that is the point in our life where we truly need, where it is one of our primal needs to expect, or to have, or to receive that love and validation from this one person. So most of the times it will go back to this child and parent relationship, where me as a child would have expected unconditional love, validation and acceptance from this one person, which for some reason did not come. But the problem is that even after I have grown up, whether I realize it or not, I'm still seeking, I'm still craving. A part of me is still craving, is still looking for, is still expecting that love, validation and acceptance to come from this one person. And whether we're aware of it or not, this one desire, this one seeking, that I still want to be loved or to be accepted by this one person, it drives my entire life decisions. Because somewhere, whatever I do in my life, whatever decisions I'm taking, whether I'm listening to myself or not, it is still my all my decisions are coming from that point. I'm always concerned how this person is going to think of me. So if I choose to do this thing, will this person love me, will this person respect me more, will this person validate me, accept me if I do this. So we are still driven by that relationship dynamic where I did not feel loved, I did not feel accepted. So but the question again comes back to that thing, can we really ask for love? Because as long as we keep depending on that person, as long as we keep seeking their love, acceptance and validation, it is not helping us. And I think that is the one reason why we have come to a point where as an adult I share an unhealthy relationship with myself, where again I'm holding self love, I'm holding love for my own self. I don't talk to myself with love and compassion and kindness, because somewhere I have this belief that I am not good enough, I'm not worthy of that. So why do I talk to myself with love and compassion and kindness? Because I don't deserve it. And there's a reason why I've come to feel that I don't deserve it, that I'm not worthy of it. Again, it also comes from that same space, that because I was not loved, I somewhere formed a belief that I must not be good enough, that I must not be deserving of that. So it is coming from a space. But the thing is that uh, as an adult also, we are seeking their love somewhere. We are still asking, we are still looking towards them constantly to seek their love, to have them, to have them give us what they could never. Because somewhere there is this expectation, there is this hope that this person can give me. So need to hogi, need to have, because as a child it did not get fulfilled. So even as a grown up, when I've not healed, when I've not become aware of my own self, of what is happening inside me, what is driving me, what is something that I truly need. So if I'm not loving myself today, what's the reason? So if I'm not aware of all of these things, first is I will have matlab मेरी वो need तो unfulfilled है. So but the second thing is I would still be seeking it from there. I would still feel that it can come from that end, because for me I've come to believe that at that point I could not get love because the problem was in me. I was not good enough back then. So I started to think that okay, if I become good enough, if I change who I am, if I become better, if I start doing things differently, if I become a better person, if I start to look perfect, if I reach at this point in my life, if I become this one perfect person, maybe that love, validation and acceptance can come from this one person. And so this is how we start to think, and that is why it's almost like we are still asking for their love, that please love me, please accept me, please validate me. But here's the thing, the thing is that it was never about you. So here, when we are asking for love even today, it comes from a point that back then when I did not receive the love, the problem was in me. But now, because I'm willing to change myself, I'm willing to act, I'm willing to become who they want me to become, I'm willing to live my life to I'm willing to live my life which feels like, which is serving them more than myself. I think that yes, if I start to act a certain way, or if I become who they want me to become, I can get their love, I can get that validation. But the reality is that the person that you're seeking love from here, the fact that they could not love you at one point in your life, the thing is that it is that they are not able to love you. Like the capacity to love, it was about them. They did not have the capacity to love you back then, and so even today they're carrying the same capacity, unless we are considering the case where that one individual has also worked on themselves, or they are also doing the inner work, healing themselves and all of that. So the thing is that when we look at that one person, their ability to love, that they could not love you, that they could not validate you or accept you, it was never about you. It was about them, their capacity, their ability to love, how much love they could give. So the question that I'm still coming from, the space where I'm still operating from, that if I do this, I can still have their love, their acceptance. The point that we're still seeking their love, it's not helping you. And I think here we need to really come to this realization, and we need to acknowledge this truth that because we cannot ask for love, because it's about them, it's about their capacity to love. So it's not dependent upon me, that if I become a different person, they can love me. And if I'm like their ability to love me is not dependent upon me. And from that I want to again share this one thing, that what I have noticed is there are all kinds of people in this world. So there will be this set of people who will not be able to love you no matter who you are. Okay? So no matter who you become, no matter how good, how perfect you become, how easy you become for them, how you, no matter how easy also you become for them in that relationship, if they choose not to love you, if they choose to dislike you, to not like you for who you are, they will never like you. Nothing in you can make them like you. And I'm not talking about the on the surface thing, that if you people please, they express a little bit of like towards you, acceptance towards you. We're not talking about that. We're talking about true, real acceptance and validation and love. So there will always be this set of people who will not be able to love you no matter who you become, and at the same point there will always be this other set of people who will love you no matter who you are. Because I think to love or not to love, it's something that comes from other people also. And in this universe all types of people exist at the same time. It's about who I am focused upon. So in this point, when we are this person who shares an unhealthy relationship with themselves, and when we are talking about this case where we are still seeking or asking for love from that one person, we need to come to this realization that we cannot really ask for love, because if a person could love me, they would have loved me even at that point. So it would have just not make a difference who I am, how much, whether I'm a child or a grown up adult who can take care of themselves, it would just not matter to them. they would have loved me at any point of time. And if this is an individual who could not love me, it was never about me, it was about their capacity and ability to love me. So again the question, that can we really ask for love? No, it depends upon them. A person who wants to choose you, they will choose you no matter what. You will not have to bend yourself, or you will not have to change yourself just to seek their love, just to have their love, because you cannot really ask for love, like specifically from one person. It's about when I say the thing asking for love, it's about coming to a position, coming to a point where you decide your worth, where you take a decision that what, I deserve love, so I'm going to treat myself that way. I'm going to keep myself to that standard, which would ultimately mean that I'm only going to accept such people in my life who also treat me with love, who also give me the love that I believe I deserve. So here the main question is the love I believe I deserve. So it's not about that I have to ask for love or seek love from this one person who actually does not have the ability to love me, because that's like me going to a person who just does not have any who just does not have any rice, and I'm asking for them again and again that please give me some rice. It just does not make any sense. Here I'm being I'm being very emotional. So if I'm doing this, if I keep doing this, then no, I want rice from you only. When in reality, that person just does not have it. Their bowl is empty. But I keep going to them because again, I feel this pull that, I have to have this rice only from you. So we need to look at this situation very objectively, and we need to come to a point where we realize that, okay, if one person could not love me, it was not about me, it was about them. So we cannot really ask from love from just one specific person. But yes, if I come to a point where I start to believe that I deserve love, that is when I can really, be at a point where I can really accept the kind of love that I want, that I desire from, from other people. So it's not about asking from love from one person or becoming stubborn that no, I only want love or seeking or validation from this one person, because we cannot truly ask for love from one person, because that would demand me to become desperate, to change me, to live my life for them, to live my life to impress them, which is not what any of us wants. But if I'm not sorted in myself, if I'm still if I'm still looking from love, or if I'm still seeking love from a point of that I don't have it, I need it at any cost, which sometimes ends up happening when I have an unhealthy relationship with myself, when my only good feeling factor comes from outside. This might end up happening. But then again, we need to work on ourselves, we need to do the inner work, so that we can come to a point where we start to focus on ourselves, that what do I believe about my own self. If I feel the lack of love or acceptance or validation in myself, what do I need to do? How do I come to a point where I can fill up that cup for myself? And as an adult, you can do this. You can do the inner work. You always have a choice. Alright, so this is all what I wanted to convey, and I think it came from that question that often I end up asking myself when I often see people still going to that one person, and from a place of seeking or wanting that love, and it's very visible that this person truly craves it from that one person only. But in that situation, this realization needs to happen, that can we really ask for love? And the answer is no. We cannot really ask for love from this one person, that no, love me this way. We cannot, because it's not about you, it's about them. So we need to have this understanding. So I'm a trained life coach, and I help people build a very healthy relationship with themselves. I help people understand themselves, get closer to themselves, so that they become more self-aware. They start to relate to themselves differently, as a result of which you feel comfortable in your skin, you feel confident in yourself as you are. And so I do these through coaching sessions. My clarity calls are free. If you want to do this work, if you want to sit with yourself, if you want to build a healthy and understanding and loving relationship with yourself, you can book your first call with me. You can go to my description and comment section. You will have my WhatsApp contact, and you can DM me session, and I'll see you in the session then. Alright, bye bye.